Most business owners think hammering their website visitors with $30 a day in retargeting ads is actually how you dominate this market. But the reality is that a bloated budget is working exactly as designed. It is systematically harassing your warmest prospects until they are utterly exhausted by your brand. If you are running a B2B or local service company and you are still dumping standard conversion budgets into tiny custom audiences, just watching your frequency metrics explode while your prospect ignores your 10th call now ad this week, you are literally paying Meta to make you look desperate. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to completely abandon that volume game and deploy a strict $1 a day Omnipresence protocol, using Meta's reach objective as a mathematical leash to slowly drip feed high trust assets to your prospect without ever triggering ad fatigue. And if you just brush this off and keep blindly feeding your retargeting budget into the machine, you will permanently condition your hottest leads to intuitively scroll past you, bleeding cash just to drive your own potential buyers directly into the hands of your competitors. For context, I'm Peter Fisabolcs and I run Ads and Leads. And right off the bat, the immediate benefit of locking in this $1 a day protocol is that you completely bypass the algorithmic penalty that is currently draining your ad account. But to actually stop this bleeding, you have to understand why Meta is deliberately punishing your retargeting campaigns in the first place. And ever since the Andromeda update, Meta's AI craves broad data. If you just try to run a standard sales or leads campaign to a hyper-restricted custom audience, like people who visited your site in the last 7 days, the algorithm panics. It needs a massive volume of people to find cheap conversions. And when you lock it inside a tiny audience, it instantly throttles your delivery and punishes you with skyrocketing CPMs. Basically, you are asking a multi-billion-dollar prediction engine to hunt for buyers inside a closet. It fails and you pay the invoice for this failure. But the solution is straightforward. You need to abandon the conversion algorithm for these warm leads entirely. Instead of asking Meta to find buyers, you give it a strict mathematical command. You switch your campaign objective exclusively to reach, and you manually toggle off all Advantage Plus audience expansion features. A conversions campaign is like sending a blindfolded bloodhound out for a hunt. But a reach campaign is more like placing a billboard directly on your prospect's front lawn. And because it is a reach campaign, Meta's algorithm doesn't care how incredibly small the audience is. It happily accepts this $1 budget and completely ignores the Andromeda penalties, and systematically stays in front of your hottest prospects without burning through your cash. And with this, you have successfully built this perfect low-cost distribution engine. But getting just the cheap clicks and targeted impressions means absolutely nothing if you hit them with standard generic ads. To actually trigger this omnipresence effect and force them to close the deal, you have to feed this exact audience a very specific rotation of trust assets. And with that, let's talk about the absolute superpower of cornering this exact hyperwar audience. Basically, the hard selling is already done. You don't need to convince them that they have a problem. You just need to position yourself as the only logical solution. But how do you actually architect that level of deep, unbreakable trust without triggering their mental ad blocker? And most media buyers completely mess up at this exact step. They build this flawless $1 a day distribution engine, and immediately pollute it with generic bouquet call today graphics or desperate discount codes. If you aggressively pitch a prospect who is still in their 7-day research phase, you instantly destroy your authority because you stop looking like an industry leader and you start looking like a commodity begging for a transaction. And this is where you need to bring the proof into your equation. You need to completely strip out the direct response hooks and load your reach campaigns with 3 specific assets. An unedited client testimonial shot organically on a smartphone. A gritty behind-the-scenes look at your team's actual process. And a stark, undeniable before and after case study. You aren't asking them for credit card or phone calls. You are simply letting the algorithm silently surround them with overwhelming evidence of your competence. And over the course of a week, these small amounts of proof create the illusion of an inescapable $1 million brand presence. But building this omnipresence loop only results in actual bankable cash if you know how to strike at the exact moment the competitors drop the ball. When that happens, you use your newly built silent omnipresence to completely hijack your market's buying window. But let me tell you exactly how to weaponize your competitors' massive ad budgets and force them to do the heavy lifting for your own lead generation. When a prospect needs a high-ticket service, they don't buy the second they click an ad. They open 5 different tabs on day 1. Let's say it's a Tuesday. They do their research and wait until Friday to make an actual decision. Your competitors are bleeding thousands of dollars to acquire that initial cold click. But because they don't understand the micro-budget retargeting, their bloated conversion campaigns burn out and they completely vanish from the prospect's feed by Wednesday. If you aren't there when the prospect finally decides to pull out their credit card, you lose the deal simply because you failed to stay in the room. And the mechanical solution is keeping your $1 a day reach campaign running perpetually on a strict 7 to 14 day retention window. While your competitor burn cash fighting a bloody expensive war on day 1, your process of slow and undeniable proof seamlessly stalks the educated prospects all the way from day 2 to day 7. You effectively let your biggest rivals pay for the expensive cold traffic awareness, while you effortlessly sweep in and close the same deal for a literal pocket change. You aren't winning the initial click, but you are mastering the timeline, which is giving you the perfect profitable foundation to aggressively scale the rest of your client acquisition engine. This entire system, bypassing the Andromeda's penalties with the reach objective, deploying the proof matrix, and weaponizing the 7-day buying window, this is how you stop fighting for scraps and start completely dominating your market's profit margins. You aren't just saving a few dollars on ad spend, you are building an inescapable high authority brand ecosystem. Just picture this. You wake up, you log into your Meta's Ads Manager, and you know with absolute mathematical certainty that every single dollar is silently stalking your warmest leads and forcing them to convert. No more triggering ad fatigue or unpredictable, widely expensive lead cost. Just a hyper-efficient machine effortlessly closing the exact high-ticket deals your competitors paid to initiate. And that is exactly the reality we engineer for you. At Ads and Leads, paid advertising is our entire obsession. We completely rebuild your Meta's ad architecture, deploy these precise micro-budget omnipresence loops, and aggressively scale your paid acquisition so you never have to guess where your next client is coming from. My team and I, we audit your current account to find the exact places paid traffic is bleeding out. We're gonna plug these holes with high retention trust assets and transform your entire ad account from a cash burning liability into a highly predictable, direct response booking engine. So if you are tired of watching your custom audience frequency explode while your competitors steal your most educated leads, then click the link in the description and book a free call with us. Just tell me, why would you spend another week blindly feeding Meta's machine bloated retargeting budget? Is it just to annoy your potential buyers? If the answer is no, then click the link below, deploy this $1 a day protocol, and let's transform your ad account into this inescapable acquisition machine.